everyone. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, and last week I did not do lunch with Lori. I had my card club on Monday and I had a retreat on Saturday, and it was just a little more than I could handle. So I'm back today. We are going retro. We're going back. I've been doing 31 projects in 31 days at 2 p.m. So make sure you join this afternoon for that. If you can't watch live, you can watch here on my Facebook page, or you can catch me over on my YouTube channel at Lori's Stampin' Life. So I am today, those are holiday projects. The 31 projects in 31 days are all holiday projects, Halloween all the way through to Christmas. So those are different than my Lunch with Lori. Lunch with Lori today, usually I do 3 cards. Today I'm only doing 2 because one's a little more detailed and I wanted to make sure that I got it right. So we are going to use the Tune In bundle, which is the retro TV set looking bundle that's in the annual catalog. And I have 2 cards for you. One uses, and I wish it was a little more aqua. The aqua with the black screams retro to me almost as much as, and I did not use this, but I'm sure, raise your hand if your mom had Tupperware that was like old olive, crushed curry, and pumpkin pie. I'm pretty sure everybody's mom or you yourself had those colors of Tupperware when it was the 1970s, early 80s. And probably something with a mushroom pattern on it as well, but that's not for today's projects. So today I'm going to do Summer Splash and black, and then a gray and a black with a pop of red. So let's get going. I'm going to turn my camera around. You can see our projects today. One I'm going to do a little bit different. And I took the 2 ideas from 2 different demonstrators. This one on the right, the Stay Tuned for an Important Message, was actually a Kit Kat wrapper, or a candy wrapper, I believe, from Erica Serwin. And then the other one, I got this idea from Don Olszewski, and I thought it was such a great idea, I wanted to copy it. So I'm going to do the red and black first. So let's make that one. Okay, let me show you the bundle really quick. It is super cute. It is the TV. This reminds me of Bewitched. Like, that's what I think of. The retro writing, the TV antenna. And as I was making these cards, I was looking at it, I was trying to remember the 2 knobs that were on the TV. The top one had the smaller number channels, and then the other one had the bigger numbers, I think. Is that right? Anyway, probably a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about there. And then the dies cut out the TV, and I'll show you some of those in just a second. So I've already die cut several things for my card because I didn't want you to have to wait on me to do that. But I've got lots of little pieces today, but I stamped the TV on the real red in black, Memento black, and then I die cut the antenna and the dials. They're kind of tiny, so we'll have to be careful, in silver foil. We use silver foil for those, and then the big starburst. I don't know what that's actually called. I did that in silver foil as well. And after I made my first sample, I thought, you know what? I think I want to change something just a little bit. So I think I'm going to make my card go the other direction for this particular project. So I'm going to go vertical instead. No, I'm not going to go vertical. I'm going to go like this. But I have my black panel and I have my Smoky Slate panel. I'm going to stamp my little starburst on my Smoky Slate panel. I forgot to wipe off my stamp here. Oops. All right. I'm going to stamp those in Smoky Slate. I'm just going to, I think my light might be in kind of the wrong spot. Okay. I'm just going to stamp randomly the little, I don't know what those are called. Retro stars is all I can think to call those. And I'm going to stamp those in Smoky Slate, on the Smoky Slate cardstock, just a tone-on-tone color. I don't want a whole lot, just enough to make a little bit of a background. All right, the middle section is going to be covered, so I don't necessarily have to go there. Although I'm going to add just a little bit right around the edge to make sure that my edges are colored. Okay, now for my sample, I stopped my designer series paper. For both of my cards today, I'm going to use the 6x6 packets of designer series paper that are the color families. For this one, I'm going to use the neutrals, and for my other card, I'm going to use the in color paper. But I stopped this one, and I think I'm going to make it go all the way across my card. So I'm going to cut that at 1 inch. I'm just going to leave it at 6 inches for this minute. I'm just going to have that go all the way across my card, like that, instead of stopping and having an edge. I'm going to see how I like that. If we don't like it, well, next time I won't do that. So I'm going to attach that and use my liquid glue. I'm not going to go all the way to the very end because I'm going to cut some of that off. Hopefully you all are having a fabulous Tuesday. It's October 22nd. I can't believe that Halloween is next week. Here in St. Louis, it is still 79 degrees today. So we are living a little on the warm side. Although my husband, he's so cold-natured. Right now it's only 68. He feels like he needs his Eskimo suit because he's so cold, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. All right, so I'm just gonna go sideways with this one, and then I think I'll put my TV straight on this one. We'll see what I think. See how that goes. I'm gonna set this aside for just a second, and then the die cuts for this one. This is the outline, and when I stamped it, it's got the knobs and everything on there, and then it also die cuts a TV screen, so we don't have to stamp the whole thing. We're gonna stamp our TV screen, and we're gonna glue that down. So I'm going to use black ink for that, Memento Black. And this is going to be the stay tuned for an important message. And it will fit on there. I'm going to stand up so I can see. So we've got our stay tuned for an important message. Okay. Now, get that out of the way. Glue that TV screen right onto our red TV. Red's our pop of color on our gray and black. Put that right there. Now we also have our TV antenna. I'm not going to glue the whole thing down. I'm just going to put it on the top of my TV. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue right at the bottom. However, if you were going to glue the whole thing down, like if it was going to be flat sitting on top of your TV up against the panel, then I would probably run it through with an adhesive sheet, because I'm not sure that I could easily get glue onto those antenna easily without making a huge mess. All right, there's my antenna. Okay, so my silver foil antenna. Oh, I got some glue on my finger. All right, I'm gonna quit messing with that. Now, I also cut the knobs. So I'm going to, I learned this the hard way, imagine that. I'm going to put my glue right here where the knobs go. The first time I did this, I actually put it on the knob, and that was a mistake. So I'm going to try. I've never actually used the putty tip of my take your pick tool, and this one is of course empty. Let me see. That picks up the whatever you need that's small, and you can place it where you want, just like that. This one I'm going to flip over. I'm going to do the same thing. This silver foil dial makes those numbers, or the number dial, look super fancy. Okay, now let's go ahead and glue the Smoky Slate panel onto our basic black. Basic black just gives it a little bit of definition around the outside edges. Put that right on there. And then I think I'm going to put my TV straight this time. What do you think? If you're watching, let me know what you think. Straight. Turn it straight so you can actually tell it's not cattywampus. Or, yeah, I think I'm going to go straight. TVs aren't typically cattywampus, as one of my favorite words. Okay, I'm going to put down my starburst. I'm just going to glue that in the middle. Maybe a tiny drop of glue right around on the bigger dots at the ends, but probably not much. And then I'm just going to put that kind of behind where the TV will be. Lay that on there so I can actually judge. Maybe right about there. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of my TV. Before I dimensional this onto my card front though, I'm going to put that panel on my card base so that it's flat and easier to use the adhesive. If you have your dimensionals on the back, it is a little bit lumpy and you don't want to, doesn't work as well that way. So I'm going to put my panel flat. There we go. Alright, so I got my panel down. Now I'll put my TV on. Okay. And then it's just going to go kind of in the middle. And then I have one more little retro star, that's what I'm going to call it, retro star. I'm going to put him down here. I'm going to put adhesive on one side, just on one corner, because I'm going to have him go partially on the TV and partially off. Let's see, do I have any mini dimensionals here? And then on the other side, I'm going to use mini dimensional. Maybe. Kind of small. I probably should have cut that in half, but that's okay. And there we go. Now, I wanted just a little bit more shine because that kind of reminds me of shiny things. Oh, actually, let me do the inside first really quick. The inside, I'm just going to make it Happy Birthday. Do that in black ink. Right on the upper panel. And then let's go ahead and stamp some of these little stars right around there. I'm going to do those across the bottom this time. And then we have our little turn it around. There we go. Now we have our stars at the bottom. Now I can put that panel on the inside. Let's see, it's this one. And you still have room for your message and you can still write on it. Now, I also have some adhesive back sparkle metallic gems, and I'm going to use the silver ones. This package has silver, gold, and copper, and I'm going to use the silver to add just a little bit more shine because it's fun. Let's see. towel to lift those up. And I think of shine and row body sort of things when I think of retro. That's what I think of. So we have our shiny things, we have our red or the pop of red on the black and gray, and then the important message is, of course, happy birthday. Okay, so card 1 I stopped it. Card 2 I went all the way across. I think I would choose this one, but anyway, if you have a preference, let me know. Okay, so card 2, we're gonna do an interesting technique that's a little different. I've never done it before, so I'm hoping for the best. I've die cut several things, but the other color combination that I said that I feel is very retro is the aqua with the black. Now, if you notice, let me pull this up, that my dials and my antenna and this piece right here, they're all shiny. Can you see that they're shiny? We are going to make them look like vinyl. And then my TV screen is also shiny. Hopefully the light catches that and you can see that it's shiny. What I'm gonna do, I have my pieces cut and I'm gonna show you how I did it. I'm gonna have to run and get another black piece of paper so I can show you. I have my black pieces cut. So there's my antenna and my dials. I'm gonna leave those there. And I've die cut the TV twice. I have 2 white ones just in case I mess up, because we're going to stamp on the back TV. We're gonna stamp directly onto the back. So I'm gonna stamp happy birthday on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I want to show you how I'm going to do that. My TV, I need it to fit in the screen. So you can either hold this down and stamp it, or you could take a pencil and mark right around the edges to do that. I'm just going to hold it down, hope for the best. And if it doesn't work, then we'll try the pencil. Okay, so just make sure they're lined up. Get your ink. And then we're going to stamp happy birthday right in the middle. Okay. There we go. So we have happy birthday. And we're not going to do anything with that yet. I'm going to let it dry for a minute. I've got my pieces. Got my card base. Now, this one I think I might change to vertical. I'm going to see how that works for me. But before I do that, I have to grab another piece of black paper. I have that. Okay. Gotta think about this for a second. Now, I've got my white panel. What I'm gonna do for that, to decorate that, I have my In Color Designer Series paper. I've got my Summer Splash piece, and I'm gonna cut it so that it fits. What I think. Yep, I think I'm gonna go vertical this time. So I'm gonna make this a little bit longer than my other one. I'm gonna go about 2.5. Make it 2.5. Okay, and then turn it and cut it at 5.25 so that it fits right on that panel. So it's gonna go right here. Okay, now I'm gonna make a 2x6 piece of black paper. I'm gonna show you how I made it shiny. All right, so I have my 2x6. I'm gonna wait to glue this down for just a minute. All right, I've got my 2x6 piece of, and 2 inches just happens to be what packing tape. Just about the right width for packing tape. So I have my roll of packing tape, and I'm literally going to just pull it out. And I'm going to start at one end. Uh-oh, I didn't quite go 6 inches. Okay. So I'm gonna start right there, and I'm gonna just smooth down my packing tape. Just like that, all the way down. So now it looks like vinyl from 1956 or 65 or whatever that decade, whatever decade that might have been popular. I'm gonna tuck the edges of this around. Now, this is actually big enough, and I already did this, but this is where I would have cut my antenna and my dials from. But since I already did that, I just need about a 1/2 inch strip. So I'm gonna cut at 1/2 inch all the way down. And it's tape, so we don't have to worry about it coming off. It's all stuck on there, and it's shiny. You see the shine on that black piece? I'm gonna set this piece aside. I can cut more dials later, and then I'm gonna turn it, and I'm gonna make it 5 1/4 inches because that's how long my piece is gonna be. Okay, so now I have a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece. Okay, now let's put our TV together, but let's make our TV screen shiny as well. So we're gonna do the same thing with the tape, except I just need to cover up where that TV screen is going to be. If I go a little over, that's okay. I just want to make sure I cover where the screen will be. And that's going to make it look like we have a shiny TV screen. The other thing you could do there is you could put a window sheet on the back of this, but since we're already using packing tape, I just decided to go ahead and use the packing tape. And then I'm going to glue on the TV. I'm going to use the liquid glue so I can get on the little edges. And I'm going to put that directly onto this TV. And it's the same size. It's just going to, that way I don't have to stamp another piece and glue it on. It's just the whole TV, and it makes the screen look shiny. Isn't that fun? Now we got to finish our TV. So we're going to put our dials, our 2 little dials. Again, I'm going to put the dot of glue on where they go. There's also a grill, like the die that cuts the dials also cuts this grill, but it's too long to go right here. So I have to play with that to see actually where I need that to go. There we go. Put those dials right on there. Probably about channel 6 when I was a kid, right up and down, right? And then put the other one on. I'll put that one at a different angle. When I grew up, we didn't have cable TV. There was no cable TV. I lived in the country, so even if there had been cable TV, we had a satellite dish after I was about 12 years old. So we didn't have cable. So we just had 3, 6, 12. And 8, channel 8, I think, and then we had maybe channel 23. I think there were not very many channels on my TV, and I survived. Okay, so I'm just going to put that right on the top of our TV. And again, if you're putting it flat, you could put adhesive sheets, but since I'm not, right, and the reason I didn't glue this down, I wanted to see if this would work before I actually did it. If I put my black, if I have my TV, then my black, or my designer series paper, and then my black piece, does my TV show up, was my big question. I wanted to make sure that my antenna was not over the top of my vinyl strip. Maybe this one I will put a little cattywampus. No, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. We've got our polka dots. I think polka dots are kind of a retro thing too. You know, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. I think that's right up that alley, I think. And of course, my TV has black and white letters because there was not color TV back then. All right, this one I'm just going to go ahead and use regular adhesive. I'm going to butt that right up against the edge of this piece. Snip the edge because it's just a smidgen long. Okay. And then we'll attach our TV after we get our pieces assembled. I put this onto the black panel, and I did just a narrow little rim right around it. That can go on to our card base, which is right here. Quite a few layers, but they're fun layers. I've never used packing tape to make things shiny, so I think that's super cool. And then this guy, I'm going to put on dimensionals. I just want to make sure that that line of vinyl didn't hide our black antenna. I could have done that as a silver antenna as well, probably, but this one's got a shiny antenna. Get that on here. Look at that, I used all of the regular dimensionals, so I'll have to cut the edges for the next time, probably for my 2 o'clock video this afternoon. And then let's do the inside. Now, this might seem snarky when I send this to someone, but I'm going to say you're classic. I think that's the same as saying you're old, right? So if I got this, I'd probably be a little taken back, but here we are. If you're this age, then you're this age. It is what it is, right? Okay. You're classic. And then I want to stamp my stars this time in the Summer Splash to decorate this one. The other one I went along the bottom. This one I'm going to put it up around the Your Classic part. So maybe the decoration will distract them from the fact I called them old. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put that right on the inside. I think it's fun to decorate the inside of the card as well. And there's the inside, and then let's add a couple of the adhesive back metallic gems. I'm gonna add the silver again. I think I'm just gonna do a couple of just a little line down here, right in this space. To get those straight and evenly spaced. I think I almost got it. And there we go. That is how we use packing tape to make vinyl, 1960s vinyl. And then we have our stay tuned for an important message, which is also happy birthday, but that's okay. So thank you for joining me today for Lunch with Lori. I appreciate that you joined me. Be sure to join me back here at 2 o'clock this afternoon for project number 22 of 31 for 31 projects in 31 days. I will look forward to seeing you then. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week.